What's up, you guys? So Web here from OneGlanceTrader.com, and in this video I thought it'd be great to walk you guys through how much money I've made trading options over the last 12 months. And for those of you who've been watching my channel for a while, know that I started my channel, trading Forex, which I still do, but I don't do that much of it anymore. And I've kind of fully now transitioned into trading options and trading stocks in the stock market. And I find it absolutely fascinating, and I'm really excited to kind of show you guys the breakdown of how much money I've made over the last 12 months. So if you like the sound of that, all I ask for is that you smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe, because the P&L and the results I'm about to show you is something, that is not beyond reach for anybody, regardless of your portfolio size. And all I do is give you guys, raw kind of option strategies, options videos, and company videos of companies I'm interested in investing in or trading options on. So make sure you subscribe, because I create weekly videos to help you guys on your investing journey. So what I thought would be good is very quickly to walk you guys through the option strategy that I use to make money through options and kind of stock trading. And again, I've got videos on this which I'll link to below and in the top right corner that goes through this in a lot more detail. But effectively it's the very popular wheel options strategy, of where you are an option seller. So when you trade options, you can either be a buyer of options or a seller of options. And like I mentioned in previous videos, I prefer to be a seller of options because it's a guaranteed income, and for me personally, it's a way of purchasing companies that I like for cheaper prices and getting paid to do so. So again, and the way it works is that, so let's say you're interested in and again I'm just going to make this up. Let's say you're interested in Palantir, for example. So let's say Riot, because I like Riot. Riot is currently sitting at 1843. It's had a very, very good week. So I'm interested in investing in Riot, but I like the price at $15, let's say. So what you can do is you can say, I'm willing to buy 100 shares of Riot at $15 um, by, I don't know, end of April, for example, right? And what will happen is that you will be given a premium to write that option. So if a buyer is interested in selling 100 shares of Riot at $15, they will pay you the right to lock in that price. And let's say you generate, well, for Riot, at that price, you might make $100 for doing so. And Riot can either stay above 15 by the date of expiration. If so, the option expires worthless. You keep the $100, but you don't own any shares of Riot. Or Riot could drop to 15 or below to 10, 11, 12. It doesn't really make a difference, as long as if it's below $15, you will then be assigned that option and own 100 shares of Riot, but keep your $100 premiums. And then what you do is that you start to sell covered calls, which basically means that I'm willing to sell you 100 shares of Riot um, at X price. So if you got assigned at 15, you could do it at $15 or 16. It doesn't matter as long as it's above your kind of cost basis price. Um, and by X amount, by X date, let's say it's 30 days out. And again, you will be receiving a premium to do so. Again, let's say you make another $100. So you've made $100 selling a put, and you've made $200 selling a call. And again, at the date of expiration, if Riot is at your strike price or above, you sell your shares back again and you keep your premium. Or if Riot is still below your strike price at the end of the expiration day, you keep the $100 premium, and then you just write another covered call another 30 days out. And the aim is that you get assigned a stock, you then sell the stock, and then you start again, basically. So you get all your collateral back, plus any appreciation if you sold the stock above your share price. But you'll keep banking the premium as this wheel keeps turning round. And that's basically what I've been doing over the last kind of 12 months. And you know, there's been some bumps along the way, which I'll walk through with you guys in terms of some particular stocks that I probably shouldn't have sold, done the wheel strategy or sold puts and on, because I'm still holding those stocks and they're down by quite a bit from what they are today. So, so firstly, at the moment, again, this is my realized P&L for Interactive Brokers, who I use to sell or trade options or primary sell options on. If you're interested in checking out Interactive Brokers, again, there's a link down below, which you can go through to kind of check those guys up if you're interested in signing up. So the way that this is kind of broken down, it's broken down, like I said, into stocks, options, and then at the bottom is forex for any either forex trades or currency conversions, because I'm based in the UK, so it has to convert my pounds into dollars, so you can see if I've made money or lost money on currency exchange rate to give you the full value. So over the last 12 months, you can see here that I've made um, just under 10k dollars uh, in in trading stock. And any stocks where you see zero on are stocks which I'm currently holding either as a realized gain, as an unrealized gain, or an unrealized loss. So I'm not going to go go through into all of these, but you guys will know that Riot is one of my favorite stocks to do the wheel on. I own a lot of shares of Riot that I'm consistently selling weekly covered calls on. But in some of Riot stocks that have done the full wheel, you know, I've made 2.5 grand on. I've made, you know, nearly 4 grand on Neo. Um, and Palantir, I still own a lot of shares of Palantir, but I've successfully done the wheel of an additional 3 grand. And the reason why you see positive numbers here is because, let's say I was assigned I was assigned assigned Palantir at 20, and I sold calls at 25, which the shares got taken away. So, you know, that's $5 per share appreciation, which is why you see some appreciation numbers on here. For example, and again, I think all of these I still own some of these stocks. Two stocks that I'm holding unrealized losses on are Frequency Therapeutics and Workhorse. So these are examples, and I might do a dedicated video on Frequency Therapeutics. As you can see here, my cost basis is around $21-22, and the share price is currently $2.65. So, and again, this is where I was chasing premium, and I always preach on always do the wheel on stocks you don't mind being assigned at the price that you set your strike, because things like this will happen. And if I'm truth to myself, is I didn't want to hold Frequency Therapeutics because I was afraid of something like this. So in this particular example, to offset my kind of tax bill that I'm going to have to pay on all my realized gains, I'm probably, because I have to sell it before April the 5th this year, I'm probably just going to sell my Frequency Therapeutics, because the unrealized loss is less than the total gain that I've made. I don't think Frequency Therapeutics is, unless they really, you know, build their kind of products that is going to cure kind of, you know, loss of hearing, which could take years to do. I don't really see the stock recovering, and you know, in hindsight, I probably should have sold this stock a lot longer. I got assigned this stock back in, I don't know, May last year. So it's, you know, it's nearly a year now since I've held this kind of losing stock in unrealized gain, unrealized loss on my overall P&L. So those are examples, and that's the same with Workhorse. Workhorse again has, I don't even want to look at this. Is another example. Again, my cost basis is $13.50. The price is $4.19, right? Um, And again, I've got a number of shares of this. I might sell out half of my position to again reduce my tax liability. So these are the things that I'm looking at the moment when it comes to some of these stocks. And I might do a frequency therapeutics workhorse dedicated video in terms of what I did wrong, so you guys don't fall into the same trap. So that's on there as well. And you'll see here I've got number of pages of stocks I have traded the wheel on. So just so you can see what these actually mean. So this is the symbol. So this is charge point. This is the expiration. The 26 is the strike price, and P stands for put. And you'll see C here for calls as well. So you'll see all of them, and then you'll see like the frequency therapeutics covered calls that I've done um, as well on this. So it must have been before. Is the frequency? Yeah, it must have been before March. I actually got assigned the kind of puts or the shares on frequency therapeutics. But again, you can see here, and you'll see. It doesn't show the kind of gain, but this is basically the total. Like for this. Put here I made $25, $33, etc. So I did things on ChargePoint, Frequency Therapeutics, did a lot on Fubo at the time. Huts that I've talked about, another kind of crypto miner. And examples here where you see a minus sign is where more than likely I've rolled my option. So this is where you sell an option and before the expiration date, you buy that option back and sell a brand new option at a same strike or a different strike for a net credit effectively. So that's where you see minuses is where I'm buying back options and selling to open a brand new option, hopefully at a higher price, which gives me an overall net credit. So that's just the concept of rolling options and why you see a minus sign there. So again, I've done a lot of hut stuff. I played around with Lucid. Fortunately, I didn't get assigned. So, I made $17 on that. I will probably never play Lucid again on there. Maro, another crypto miner. Again, similar to kind of Riot as well, you'll see that a lot of these stocks, have kind of, tanked in price. So you can see the kind of um, strikes I was playing with around the 29, 27, where Mara's currently at 26. Neo was a very interesting one, is I got assigned 300 shares. Look at this at the 40.52 mark, and thankfully I managed to cost average down. You can see Neos are currently at $18, right? Currently today. So again, I'm so glad that I'm out of Neo, and I will never trade Neo again, or unless Neo drops to like $7, $8 or something like that. So again, I've learned a lot this year, and again, I've had a lot of Neo trades. Palantir is an interesting one. So so this is when I was doing the wheel, and you'll see now when we get to 20. Palantir in 2022. So I do own 800 shares of Palantir at around $20. So I am holding a bit of an unrealized loss, and the current price is, $12. So I'm quite happy with Palantir. Again, it's a bit on the expensive side. I've got these kind of shares on, but I'm willing to hold these out. And again, I'm selling puts, and it's not realized yet because so I'm selling puts at this level at around the $11 level to bring down my kind of cost basis on Palantir. And then you'll see a number of Riot. For those who have watched any of my videos will know that I love Riot, and you can see I have done a lot of Riot. This page is a whole dedicated page on Riot. You'll see space as well. Thank God I was not assigned space, because you'll see that I've got $68 and $54. So if you look at where space is now, space is currently trading at $9 there. So again, I've been selling some puts on Tattooed Chef, and yeah, this is my one call that I actually bought a call, which is again sitting unrealized and it's currently down because Tattoo Chef's about $11. It cost me $332 to buy this call. I'm probably going to lose money on that one there. And then you've got Workhorse again. I've been selling puts to bring down my kind of cost basis that I've talked about. Um, there, and I've been, selling covered calls, on all of my contracts, but I'm only really picking up, $33. So it's not really a lot, but it's lowering my break-even cost basis. So in terms of all of that options, I've made 11.5 grand dollars in the last 12 months of realized gains. And then from a forex conversion perspective, I've made $100, and therefore total in the last 12 months trading stocks, the 10 grand in stocks and the 11 grand in options has given me a realized gain of 21k. And to put things in perspective as a percentage return, my portfolio is around $45-46. So if we look at that, um, um, on that, oh, actually I did this, so it's around, yeah, I did it on 50k because I have added money in as time goes on. So if we call it 50k dollars, so 21.5k I've made divided by 50. Don't know why I did it again. So that's around a 43 kind of percent return in terms of my realized gain that I've made over the last 12 months. And again, that's an exceptional amount considering, the S&P last year has gone up by 20 odd 3%. It's taken a bit of a turn in the first half of the year. However, I do have some unrealized losses that I want to do to offset this 23 grand. So as I mentioned before, I'm owning shares at the moment in Frequency Therapeutics, which is around a 4k unrealized loss, and about I would like to say about a 10k unrealized loss. So that's 14k unrealized losses that I have on two stocks that I don't really want to own. The others I do own unrealized losses on Palantir and things like that, but I'm more from a long-term perspective and building up my position. So what I'm thinking of doing, I've not really worked it out yet, is I'm definitely going to sell Frequency Therapeutics, which again is around 4 grand. So if we take the 23,000, sorry, the 21.5k that I've made, and I minus 4 grand from that, so that will come off my total, and I'm probably looking to take, let's say 6k out of that, out of Workhorse. So that leaves me with a realized gain of 11.5, again divided by, the 50k portfolio that I've got. Again, that's still a 23% return on my initial investment, which again I'm reinvesting back in to grow and all these kind of different things. So yeah, I've collected 21.5k realized gains, which as a return on my portfolio is about 43%. However, I do have unrealized losses, of which it's probably going to be around 10k I will sell as realized losses to take my overall kind of profit for the year to 23,000. No, sorry, we'll take it down to around 11. Where was it here? To 11,500, which again is a 23% on my actual size of my portfolio that I've got. So again, really profitable, and again I'm learning year over year, right? And I'm going to do more videos about what I've learned in options trading and how I didn't really need to give away that 11 grand because it was in two stocks I shouldn't have been in inside the first place. And that is what I've learned to really, sell puts. And that's why I talk about my OGT cash flow system, of where we have a cash cow stock, in my case RIOT, to pump out high premiums to then go invest those premiums into companies I want to hold for the long term. And they can be growth stocks like Robinhood, SoFi, ChargePoint, Palantir, for example. But also, I'm really going heavily now into Facebook as well, and looking at Apple when they gets to a more attractive price. So that's why I'll be, producing more and more content on about that type of strategy. And again, I'll do this next year again, so you can see what the realized gains kind of looks like from that perspective. So again, I really hope you enjoyed this video. We'll have the options video on there and my OGT cash flow video as well, so you can see kind of the new kind of strategy that I'm developing trading options. So really hope you enjoyed this video, and I shall see you guys on the next video.